All right, today's topic is special products. So special products, we're talking about still multiplying polynomials, multiplying binomials, but there's a kind of a different way to do it and kind of a pattern you can do to solve it to make things easier on you, okay? So I'm going to show you kind of a longer way and then the shorter, quicker kind of shortcut way to do these problems, okay? So let's say you have something that would be this, x plus 6, and the whole thing is squared, okay? The second power. So the long way to do this, okay, and I'll show you this first, is because this square, and what this means is that there's two of these. So what you're doing is you're multiplying it by itself. So x plus 6 times x plus 6, okay? So there's two of these, right? And then you still do the FOIL, right? And just to kind of go through it with you once again. Remember, we're going to multiply the x times the x to get x squared, okay? We're going to do x times 6 to get a positive 6x. We're going to do 6 times x to get, once again, a positive 6x. And then a 6 times 6 to get a positive 36, right? So basically, remember, we're just multiplying all these things. And then we add the middles because they both have x. So 6x plus 6x gives me 12x. And then I bring down my x squared and my 36, okay? So that's kind of a recap of of FOILing, but that's how you would do this the long way, right? Is take this, if it's a 2 here, it's the same problem twice. Multiply by each other, FOIL it out to get your answer here, okay? So I'm going to write this answer up here, and I'm going to show you the shortcut way to do this if you so wish, okay? So that's our answer for this. I'm going to do the same problem again, but I'll show you the shortcut, okay? So the shortcut would be this, okay? So if you have something like this where it's the same, you know, it's just like this, we're going to go ahead, we're going to square our first term. So x squared, right, is x squared, okay? We're going to take the second term, our 6, we're going to square that. So 6 squared would be 36, okay? Now to get our middle term, we're taking them both. We're going to multiply these two. So 6 times x. So 6 times x will give me 6x, right? And then we're going to multiply. We're going to do 6x times 2. And 6x times 2 is 12x. And that's what's going to go in our middle. And now we have the same answer as we have here, right? Okay, so recap. I know I probably threw you off with that, okay? So once again, our first term, square it, x squared. X to the second power, x to the second power, right? Easy. Square the second term, 6 squared. 6 times 6, 36, okay? Easy, right? Middle term, multiply the two things here, x and 6, so 6 times x, right? We get 6x, and then multiply that answer by 2, and you get 12x, which is our middle term here, okay? So, and that's it. So it's the same thing, right? Now, if you feel comfortable pulling it out and, you know, doing it the longer way, that's fine. Do it that way. But this is the shortcut for these things like this, okay? Let's do another example. I'll show you both ways again. So we got 3g plus 10h, and that's all squared, okay? So what we're doing is, once again, I can take this, I can pull it out, right? And I can make it 2 of each, and we can multiply them together. That and that, right? So it's the same thing twice multiplying, okay? And I can go ahead and I'm going to multiply it through. So 3g times 3g would be, 3 times 3 is 9, right? And then g squared, because there's 2 g's, right? 3g times 10h, so 3 times 10 is 30, and then g times h is a gh, right? Different letters, multiply, stay the same. 10h times 3g, same thing. 30 gh, same thing, right? And then the last 10 times 10 10h times 10h is 100, and then the h is h squared, right? Right. So, and then our middle numbers, we add them because it's the same GH. We add the 30 plus 30, they get 60 GH, and then bring down that, and bring down that, okay? So 9G squared plus 60GH plus 100 squared, okay? So that's the kind of the longer, drawn out way to do this, all right? So, that's that way. Once again, take it, make two of them, FOIL it through, get your answer. If you're cool with that, cool, all right? If not, here's a shortcut way, okay? Same process as we did last time. So remember, we're going to take our first term, 3g, and we're going to square it, okay? So we're going to do 3g, and we're going to square 3g, okay? So remember, 3 squared is 9, and then g squared is g squared, okay? We're going to take our last term, 10h, and we're going to square it. So 10 squared is 100. H squared is h squared, right? And then we're going to multiply our middle terms. So 3g times 10h equals 3 times 10 is 30. G times h is gh, right? And then our answer times it, gh, times by 2. And all we're doing is 2 in the 30 times 2 to get 60, and our letters say the same. So 60 GH. And everything's positive. Okay? So that's our shortcut way of doing that. Square the first, boom. Square the second one, boom. Multiply times by 2. Multiply, times by 2. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right. Don't think too hard about this. All right. So that's if we're adding, okay? Now what if we have a subtraction in the middle, okay? Well, it's the same thing. It's just going to be a minus sign. So, for example, let's say we have this. X minus 8 squared, okay? So same thing, but it's minus, okay? So once again, pull it out. X minus 8. X minus 8. Same thing, right? X squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 64, right? So I know I did that fast. X times x times negative 8, negative 8 squared, negative 8x, negative 8 times x, negative 8x, negative 8 times negative 8 is a positive 64, right? And then we at the middle, they both have x's, so we have negative, that's 2 minuses, 16x, and then bring down your terms, right? So same thing, it just says a minus is going to be right here instead of a plus, okay? Now, it's the same thing we have we do it the shortcut way, okay? So that's a long way, okay? Shortcut way, once again, all right, take our first x, square it. So x squared is just going to be, right, x squared, okay? Here, 8 squared, so 8 squared equals 64, right? Now, multiply, so x times negative 8, that minus turns to a negative, so x times negative 8 equals negative 8x, right? And then multiply negative 8x, multiply times 2, and negative 8x times 2 is a negative 16x. So, same way as the other one, the only difference is that our symbol here is a minus. And that's it. That's our only difference, okay? So if it's a minus here, it's a minus here, right? If it's a plus here, it's a plus here, okay? That's the biggest thing with this, okay? All right, let's do one more of these. And I got one more kind of way to do this. So let's do 7d minus 2f, and that's squared, okay? So, long way. 7d minus 2f, 7d minus 2f, right? FOIL it. 7d times 7d, 7d times 7d is 49, and then there's 2d, so d squared. 7d times the negative 2f is negative 7 times 2 is 14, and then d and f stay the same. Same here, middle ones, negative 14 df, 2 times 7, right, same thing. And then last one's negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4, and then 2f's is f squared. And then add the middle ones, negative 14 is a negative 28 df, and then bring down the first and the last. Okay? Right, so there's that. Okay? So, longer way to do it, right? Like I said, if you're comfortable doing this, do it this way, it's cool. Alright? Shortcut. Okay, square the first. 7d squared, right, equals 7 squared is 49, d squared is d squared, so 49 d squared, okay. Last one, 2f squared, so 2 squared is 4, f squared is f squared. Now multiply your middle ones, so 7d times negative 2f equals 7 times negative 2, negative 14, and then the d and the f stay. Now, take this, negative 14 df, times it by 2, and we have negative 28, because negative 14 times 2 df, and that goes in the middle, right? So remember, square the first, boom. Square the second one, that equals 4f squared. Boom. Multiply, and then multiply that, double it. Multiply it times 2. Okay? Alright, last thing. We got one more. Okay? What if you have a different, what if they're different? Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let's say we have x plus 5 and x minus 5, right? So same first numbers, terms, same last terms, but different signs in the middle, okay? Alright, so here's what you do. Once again, you can FOIL this out and multiply through if you want, or you can do the shortcut way. I'm just going to show you the shortcut way, okay? Because it's easy. I promise you, it's easy, alright? So, take our first term, x. It's same thing, right? Same terms, right? X and 5, right? X and 5, okay? X. I'm going to square it. X squared, okay? Take the second term, 5, okay? We're going to do, alright, so x squared is x squared. Alright, whatever. X squared. 5 squared, we're going to square it. 5 squared is 25. 25. And we're going to put a minus in between. And that's our answer. That's it. That's it. Square the first term. Boom. Square the second term. Boom. Minus in the middle. That's it. Okay? Simple. So if you have two things that are like this, it's a plus and minus, the same terms. Square it first, square the last, minus in between. That's it. Okay? Another example, real quick. T plus, I don't know, 9, T minus 9. Okay? Same thing. Got T's, got 9's. Alright? Different symbols in between, same thing. Square the first. T squared. Square the second one. 9 squared is 81, right? 9 squared is 81. 81 minus in between. That's it. So simple. So simple. Right? Alright. Last one. Let's do 3y3 plus 4, and a 3y3 minus 4. Okay? So, little more, kind of was a little weird, right? That's okay. All right, still simple, right? First term the same, 3y to the third power. Second term the same. We got 4s, different symbols in the middle. So, first term, 3y3. We're going to square it. Okay. Now remember, remember how to square this, right? Your whole number is going to be squared. So 3 squared is 9. Right? 9. Okay. And then when you have a letter and an exponent to an exponent, they get multiplied. So 3 times 2 is y to the 6th, right? Okay. So 9y to the 6th. Okay. Now, square the second term. So 4 squared equals 16. 16 minus in the middle. Boom. Simple. Okay? This is a 4. This is a y. Okay. Alright, that's it. Alright, so square the first term. Square it. Right, remember our 3 here turned into a 6 will be multiplied by 2. But our 3 here, because it's our bigger number, it's a whole number, it gets squared. It gets squared, and that goes into a 9. And then the second term gets squared, 16. Boom, 16. Okay. I'll do one more like that, because I know it's kind of confusing. That's fine. So 2f squared plus 8 and 2f squared, f squared minus 8. Okay, so same thing, right? 2f squared, 8s, right? So 2f squared, right? So 2f to the second power, right? All of them to the second power. So 2 squared is 4, and f squared, right? Multiply the 2's to get f4. Alright. Second term, 8 squared is 64. So 64 and a minus in between. Okay? Simple. Simple.